Hello there, students, friends,
enemies,
and servers of the internet. PDX voice teacher here today on this beautiful day, here to bring you a performance video. In this video, following my boring lecture, will be a presentation of Virgil Thomson's rarely performed and even more rarely recorded musical setting of Gertrude Stein's Capital Capitals. For this piece, produced by the Liminal Group of Portland, Oregon, I was cast with some very talented singers. Capital 1 was sung by Ammon Morris, Capital 2 by yours truly, Capital 3 by Leo Daedalus, named after the tragic Greek figure who fashioned Icarus's wings that led to his untimely demise. And Capital 4 was sung by the talented basso Andre Flynn. Our maestro was Stephen Alexander. Artistic direction was by John Sidney Berenstain, and our costumes, one of which was partially destroyed by me, were created and repaired by a very talented Jenny Ampersand. And lastly, the projection media was created by a team of artists led by Leo Daedalus, our third capital. Thomson's setting of Stein's text is in keeping with the nature of the text itself through composed. In fact, because this piece was being performed in a gallery space rather than a traditional stage, our director John thought it fitting that we would start the piece sort of entering and warming up as an orchestra would. This served to plant the seeds of our character's divergent evolution throughout the piece. It was also utilitarian in that in the gallery space, people were able to wander from exhibit to exhibit, and us warming up allowed them to congregate to our performance space. Personally, I enjoyed singing Capital Capitals with the Liminal Group. I hope that other singers take a look at this work and consider adding it to their repertoire. Enjoy.
Capitals are capitals here, capital very good, capital place where those go when they go. Capital, he has capital. We have often been interested in the use of the word capital. A state has a capital, a country has a capital, an island has a capital, a mainland has a capital. A portion of France has 4 capitals, and each one of them is necessarily on a river or a mountain. We were mistaken about one of them. This is to be distressing. Now we return to ourselves and tell how nearly the world is populated. First a capital, excitement, sisters. First capital. When we were on an island, it was said that there was a capital there, and also that there was a capital on the mainland. Did he and his wife and his sister expect to eat little birds? Little birds least of all. All the capitals that begin with A, Aix, Arles, and Avignon. Those that begin with B, Bo, that makes 4. Those Those that begin with B, Barcelona. Those that begin with M, Marseille and Mallorca. You mean Palma? Yes, P, Palma de Mallorca. Do this in painting. Will you have a strawberry? I'm drawing on the central mountain formation. Mountain formation and capitals. Strawberries and capitals. Letters A, B, and M and capitals. Capitals. Capital C. Capital D. Capital Y. Capital J. They said that they were safely there. Safer there than anywhere. They came there safely. They were said to be safely here and there. Capital wool. When we say capital wool, we mean that all wool pleases us. Capitally wool, Egypt, rabbit, fingering, ardently silk, spontaneously merry, camel's hair, Arabelle, chenille, that comes from a caterpillar, I think. If travelers come, and a run comes, if a run comes, and travelers have come, everything is come, and travelers have come. The third capital, they have read about the third capital. It has in it many distinguished inventors of electrical conveniences. In how many weekdays can everyone display their satisfaction with this and their satisfaction? Let us count the fourth capital. Rome, Constantinople, Thebes, and authorization. There are a great many third capitals. Surrounding second capitals are third capitals and first capitals. The first capital reminds me of division. Decide to reside. And what beside? My side and my side. And when can they say that there is no room there? When a great many people filter in. They play ring around Rosie. They play London bridges. They play Einstein. They play horses. We have all forgotten what horses are. We have all forgotten what horses there are. We have all forgotten where there are horses. We have all forgotten about horses. Capital this and capital that. This is capital and that is capital. Capital 1, capital 2, capital 3, capital 4, capital 4. The fourth capital is one where we do dream of peppers. It is astonishing how a regular curtain can be made of red peppers. A long curtain and not too high. The third capital is one in which thousands of apples are red in color, and being so, they make us in no way angry. The second capital is one in which butter is sold, and butter be sold very well. The first capital is one in which there are many more earrings. Are there many more earrings here than elsewhere? The climate, we were climated to the climate of the first capital. We are climated to the climate of the second capital. If in regard to climates, if we regard the climate, if we are climated to the climate of the third capital, the climate of capital 4 is the climate which is not so strange, but that we can be acclimated to it. We can be acclimated to the climate of capital 4. If every capital has 3 or 4 who lock their door, and indeed if we mean to care for their home for them, we can complain of lack of water. Water can be bought. If in any capital there are 3 or 4 who mean to present themselves tenderly, then indeed can we thank ourselves for thanking. We can thank them. If in any capital there are more seldom seen, more and more seldom, if they are more and more seldomly seen, what then? What of them? If in every capital there are more than there were before, how may a capital continue this preparation? They prepare themselves to say that they will stay. In the first place, the first capital is very well placed. In the second place, the second capital has more sugared melon. In the third place, the third capital is aroused. In the fourth place, all 4 capitals have many shovels. Accept me. Accept me. Expect me. Accept me. I know I will very indeed. Hearty kisses.
In a minute, shut the door. In this way, as they say this way. In this way they are, as they may say this way. In this way things matter. Cannot express tenderness. In this way, as they say, in this way, as they say, they cannot express tenderness. As they say, the way they say, they can express in this way tenderness. They can express tenderness in this way.
If they are good to me. If I can see that they are good, if I can say that they are good to me. If I can see that they are good, if I don't say that they are good to me. If I could, if I would, if they would be good, if they would be good, if they are good, are they good? Are they good to me? Do you hear me say that they could be good? Did they hear me say that they could be good? That they are good? That I say that they are good to me?
If they belong to me more than strong, do they care to be strong? Do they care to belong? Do they belong to being strong? If they hear a second day, do they say the second day comes before a first day anywhere? Capitally strong, do they belong? Does it belong to them to be capitally strong? I will say so today. They do not answer in syllables.
To settle and to settle, but to settle very well. To settle, do they settle? Do we settle? Do I settle? Do they settle very well? Do we settle well? Do we settle well? Do we? Do I settle? Do I settle very well? Very well. I do settle. I do settle very well. They do settle very well. Resemble it.
To resemble it.
They resemble it. They resemble. I state that the first capital is one that has been won to settle on its self-denial. I deny, we deny, they deny. I deny what? That they are safely there and that no one comforted him.
Do not annoy anyone needing to feel strongly that if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. And why are ridden horses still used? Why are they still used? Why are ridden horses still used?
Reasonable wishes do not color reasonable wishes. Reasonable wishes are not colored by reasonable wishes. Reasonable wishes are rarely colored to be reasonable wishes.
Mountains are not merely outcroppings. They are usefully employed in reasonable association. We reasonably associate with one another and are elaborately aware of waiting. Wait again for me. Capitals are plenty. There are plenty of capitals.
Capitals and what are capitals? Not just to get
The capital seems to be the capital.
A capital is not easily undertaken, nor is it easily aroused, nor indeed is it impervious. Thoroughly
And very pleasantly,
near to it than that.
Eagerly, they are.
They do.
they will.
not tonight, all
Not full.
All cook, 3 captains in all. I intend to learn to sail away.
I
If Rome's trees are cut down again and again, he can be busily engaged. And if he is busily engaged, can he nourish hope? And if he nourishes hope, can he converse? And if he converses, can he say that someday he will supply the same that he did supply when the sun heated and the sun heated? When the mountains are nearby and not high, little mountains made at the right angle are not high, and yet we can imply that they are neither near nor high, and that they are nearby and they are near high. The capital was nearly 800 miles away.
This gives me no idea of its distance, of the distance from here to there. 4 capitals.
The second capital has pleased them all. If a second capital is second only in such a way that there is no reason to arouse me, a second capital in all, a second capital. Does he know that he found it to be so? Does he know that in walking in and told us that in walking he has been more than sufficiently clearly seen that if a park is green, may he be sure of his path, may he in association, may he in his place, may he in such a place, may he indeed, might have been employed in such a place, and in what way was he employed? Was it in relation to meat, to vegetables, to ices, to bread, to cake, to fruit? Or indeed, was it in relation to the homes where all who are religious find themselves crowded? Did he crowd in? No, indeed. He meditated in this way. Every noon, as soon as he was responsible, and he was responsible to no one, to wife and child and all, and he came at their call. Call again. I often mention what has been seen. No one can say more. No one can say any more than that it has been seen, that a king has been seen. Not a king, not has been seen. Not that a king has been seen. Not that there has been seen, not a king. Not that there has been seen. And when did he wish to waver, and waver? And when did he wish to wave it away? And he will say today. And January for a day.
I see that I he went to stay, and had his father and his mother been there long? Had his father and his mother been there long, and was there no reason for that? Was there no reason for this, and he was not found to be splendid? Who was really the manager of the distribution of light? He was not prepared to receive them there and there, here and there, here and there, here and again, here and there. Has a reason for this more than all the rest.
Did they clear themselves of men and women, and did they seem to be able to be especially related?
Did they seem to be especially related, and did they fasten their bamboos as hedges every 2 years?
Did they fasten their bamboos as hedges every 2 years? And did they have any objection to their rejection?
Were they really rejected, and did they object as if it seemed they did? If they have to do this, and they have to do this, if they have to do this, can they attend to their daisies?
And if they attend to their stones, and stones are in a way useful, can they attend to baggage?
In attending to baggage, a great many people are caught in the rain.
It is Sunday, and besides it is raining. It is too cold to rain. In the meantime, do you see? Yes, I see. In the meantime, do you see? Yes, I can see.
If you went and if you came, if they came, you went and came. Indeed, spring is coming for the winter, that is to say in here. Now understand what I mean. One may say that winter's the winter. They mean to winter.
Met again or not met?
I see you, see he sees me, he can see you, can see, they can see me. I meant to say that.
And that beside,
Ignorant Negroes.
not as ignorant as Negroes.
Capital for capital, and who knows better than that capital is mine? Capital for capital, crowd for crowd, outlawed for outlawed, crowd for crowd. Capital for capital.
Capitally. Capital for capital. Question for question. A caress for a caress. A river for a river, and a spring for a spring. Spring comes very early here. It comes before for capital, candy for candy, curtain for curtain, and crowds for crowds, crowds for crowds, curtain for curtains, candy for candy, and capital for capital.
Capital for capital, plants for plants, bridges for bridges, and beds for beds, beds for beds, bridges for bridges, plants for plants, and capitals for capitals.
Capital, capitals, capitally capable, articles for articles, buds for buds, combs for combs, and lilies for lilies, lilies for lilies, combs for combs, buds for buds, articles for articles, and capitals for capitals. We know how to remove hard and assign grass. Capital for capitals.
The necessity of going away, where everyone deprecates the necessity there is to stay, where everyone utters a welcome that is sufficiently stirring, and where everyone does know what makes them so nearly wider.
Now let me see why capitals are steadily repeated. I repeat the first capital, I repeat, the second capital, you repeat, I repeat the third capital, they repeat, we repeat, I repeat the fourth capital, they repeat, I repeat that a capital is a treat, I repeat that they retreat from a capital and that they retreat.
I repeat that they compete. For my capital, I repeat that they compete. Do they compete?
I repeat that they compete, that they repeat, that they complete, that they complete, that they seat a great many people in there, and it is there that they are seated. I know why I say what I do say. I say it because I feel a great deal of pleasure, of satisfaction, of repetition, of indication, of separation, of direction, of preparation, of declaration, of stability, of precaution, of accentuation, and of attraction.
And why do you spare little silver mats?
Little silver mats are very useful.
And silver is very pretty as to color.
And action.